Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Alongside Greg Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. The Spurs happy to be returning to San Antonio after the road trip and going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year. The previous season series split right down the middle. These teams were quite evenly matched. Horford has a wide open look. That's in, coming off the assist from Young. Horford's got the game going here with the first basket for the Thunder. Outside, Tatum. Takes it. Oh, that was something else.
I tell you what, don't sleep on Tatum. He has some ups, and I love seeing him trying to electrify the crowd.
And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. In the corner, Horford with it. This one for three. A rebound by the Spurs. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. The three nailed from three-point land. Greg, we know the names of the superstars, but there are players that are just under that category who probably should get a little more recognition.
Hey, Kevin, that's a great point, and I'm going to toot my alma mater's horn a little bit. Christian Wood's a guy that kind of reminds me of that. He's kind of on the come up. Or how about Devontae Graham, the second rounder back in 2018, but he's showing to be an established young talent in this league, and there are many more guys like that, and they're going to have their opportunity to become household names.
No good on the shot, a bit long that time. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, I caught up with Greg Popovich, and he was quick to point out the danger Trae Young poses not just as a scorer, but as a distributor. His quote was, "His skill as a passer is overlooked, but we're not going to lose sight of that. We have to make him play the game on our terms. He can't be dictating the pace." So they're going to try to keep Young under control, Kevin. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David. Now, here's Tatum. He's someone who's a factor on any given night, averaging more than 22 points a game. 5 on the clock. And Anderson has it in the corner. And stolen by Horford. And here they come. Here's DiVincenzo.
Playing with high energy, outworking the defense up the floor.
And I just love it when the fast break results in a high percentage look. Not always the case these days.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Harris a screen. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. On defense, San Antonio. Trailing by 2. Young drives in. Here's Bay. His three-pointers off the mark. Outside Tatum. And here's Anderson for 3. Al Horford with the rebound. And the Thunder with the possession here. .149 left to play here in the first. Beyond the arc.
Oh.
And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
And not every big can hit from there, but Horford has that versatility because that man has put in the work.
Now here's Tatum. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Let's see if Coach can get them back on the right track.
Because right now it feels like the pace is being dictated to them. They need to go back to playing their brand of basketball.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Anderson. Schroeder outside. Tatum with it. Shot clock at 5. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Here's Harris. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here he goes. DiVincenzo. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Here's Tatum. And it's sent back by Horford. And he lobs it up toward the rim. 34 seconds left in the first quarter. It's off his foot, and it's whistled a kick. Now Brogdon. Smith left side. And stolen by Bogdanovich. And stolen by Ariza. Knocked loose. And stolen by Bogdanovich. Pass to Schroeder. Tatum deciding where to go with it. And so it's Oklahoma City heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, they were very physical and very aggressive. They've just been the better team so far.
Monk for 3. He doesn't hit that one. So the Thunder will take it the other way.
And part of yet another great Kentucky recruiting class, Monk declared along with De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, 2 other 5-stars. I mean, talk about an NBA factory. That school is always competitive.
And stolen by DiVincenzo. And here's Young from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Oklahoma City.
Their aggressiveness on D has been the most glaring aspect of this game so far. They have the heat turned all the way up in this first half.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
It's Young on the wing. The tray. The shot missing. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. And Monk made second-team All-American in his only year with the Wildcats, looking unstoppable on many occasions.
I mean, he just overwhelmed college opponents with his athleticism. But you get to the NBA, you find out how many great athletes are in this league. That's when you have to retool aspects of your game, which is what Monk is in the process of doing.
Now Young, after the missed 3 from Jamal Crawford. Pass to Horford. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. Young outside. Just 5 to shoot. Again, Young missing.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now here's Horford. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Shots good from Young.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Here's Crawford. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Got a piece of it. Spurs working the ball around now. San Antonio again missing. Here's DiVincenzo. The rebound by the Spurs. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Launches the 3. And the Thunder another 3.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the 3s they're allowing.
Pass to Morris. To end the drought. He can't get it to go.
All the energy is on the other side right now, and every miss just makes it worse.
You know what? This has always been a debate. Do you take the timeout, or do you let your guys try to fight through it?
Back to Horford. Young inside. And slam dunk by Harris.
I just love Trae Young's feel for the game. Oftentimes, he can see the play develop before anyone else.
Now here's Crawford. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Pass to Monk. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
It's just one trip down the court, but you have to have short memory in this league or you won't last long.
And just trying to get some traction offensively. Boy, it hasn't been pretty.
You know, this is a good time to maybe switch up your strategy a little bit. You can't keep doing what you're doing and expect a different result.
And it's Smith missing. Spurs trail by 20. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
No hesitation at all on the alley-oop. Saw his teammate with a pass to the hoop, and bang, lobbed it right up there for him to finish.
And he was ready for it when he elevated and made the catch. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Spurs. Tipped away. And here is Morris. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Now 8 seconds separate the two clocks.
Get up, Malcolm. You think this guy is just about jumpers? There's more to his game.
Bain hits the three-point bomb.
And how about the bounce pass there being used to perfection?
Now here's Brogdon. Outside, Jones. From the arc. The shot off that time. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. They've had such great... And with the big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Outside Tatum. From deep. The shot that time not on target. So the Thunder will take it the other way. They led the game at 1 point by 20. Pass to Bay. Offensive rebound. Harris outside. Back to DiVincenzo. No good on the triple. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. 17-point game. Greg, if you're a small market team, how do you convince stars that you've drafted and developed to stay and re-sign?
It's a great question, Kevin. I actually think in a lot of ways it's easier today because you can be box office. You can be a superstar in a small market and have the name recognition because of the era we play in. And so I think the biggest way to keep him there is to build a championship caliber team around him. I think that is your saving grace. If you can prove to them that you can build a championship caliber team, I don't really think that there is a reason to want to leave.
That's a solid blueprint.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And the second season for Trae Young, just unreal. Pulling off amazing performances at such a young age. Greg, just how good do you think he can be?
You know, Kevin, Young will be viewed as a top point guard in this league for a long time. When it's all said and done, might be one of the best point guards in league history. Certainly is on his way to being one of the best shooters to ever play.
Stolen by Brogdon. Young looking around. Off target with his three. A challenging stretch for San Antonio here. Searching for that first bucket here in the third. And slam dunk by Tatum.
An explosive player who has no problem finishing above the rim. Tatum does damage inside.
Here's Brogdon. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Tatum with it. Pass to Schroeder. Here's Bogdanovich. Outside Tatum. Shot clock at 6. Puts up a 3. And Bogdan Bogdanovich gets the 3. Bogdanovich has got 6.
And Schroeder entrusted to run this offense, making the right call.
And Young, here we go. And here's Harris from the arc. That shot, no good. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Back to Tatum. Plays it up and banks it in. Tatum's got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, and in one-on-one situations, Tatum is a nightmare to guard. Versatile offensively, and really allows him to score consistently.
The Thunder with another miss.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
He takes it in and slam dunk by Tatum.
You gotta close off the lane to the basket. Tatum is just so good at creating angles to attack.
And Young, here we go. Here's Horford. And nothing is falling for him right now.
And the truth is, this league would have been much bigger had he shot better.
Outside Tatum. Driving inside. The Thunder leading by 13. Here's Young. He's got 11. In the corner, Horford with it. Lets it go with a 3. And it's Horford again missing. Here's Tatum. And the dunk by Tatum.
He is a scoring machine right now, but he needs more support from his teammates if they want to win this one.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
And coach can't like what he's seeing, trying to get them refocused.
It's so easy to get run over when you lose even a little edge. Look for them to come out much more aggressive.
The Thunder with another miss.
The defense was begging him to take that shot, and he took the bait, but you can't blame him. What a defensive play. Gets the stop and does it without fouling.
Pass to Jones. And stolen by Tatum. So Greg Popovich going to take a timeout right here and talk to his team.
It's hard to disagree with the timeout here, as the team badly needs to regain focus. They're out of sync offensively, way too many turnovers, and looking frustrated. They need to get back to their pace, their brand of basketball.
Spurs making a switch here. To the inside. It's deflected. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Takes the 3. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder holding. And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done different, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning a championship.
I can understand both of those.
Yes.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team during the break. He was disappointed in the shot selection. He told them, stay patient, run the offense, make the extra pass. We don't have to make up the deficit all at once. We'll see if they start shooting a little better. Kevin?
Spurs trail by 13. And Bogdanovich now top the key. The kick out to Tatum for the three. And the three ball is good. Tatum's got 11 in the second half.
You know, as ice cold as he was in the first half, that's how hot he has been since the break. No one can match up with him right now.
On the wing, DiVincenzo. Paxton coming off the assist from Young. And the Thunder lead by 13.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Hey, players love competition, and the fans love it as well.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Young outside. Harris outside. A rebound by the Spurs.
And he's frustrated. That's a shot he can make in his sleep.
Young with the steal. DiVincenzo with it. Now guarded by Bogdanovich. Shots good from Young. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game. How it's been going for Oklahoma City.
They've been playing such pesky defense. It's been very impressive, especially all the turnovers they've caused.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've got down in transition.
Bogdanovich wide open. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Young outside. Harris outside. Drives to the hoop. And slam dunk by Harris.
It can be deceiving. The quickness of Harris's first step, nice.
To the middle. Makes it off the glass.
And they've really gotten on track here in the second half. After that shaky start, the field goal percentage steadily climbing. They couldn't make anything in that first break.
Got that one up quick. Young's got 10 points here in the second half.
Adding to this lead, he's been dependable and consistent at the offensive end.
And Trae Young gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Bogdanovich looking around. 6 on the shot clock. In the corner. Tatum with it. That fall. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovich.
Shifty, elusive offensively. Tatum's scoring potential is through the roof.
Young from outside. And the Thunder another 3.
And guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Yeah, the defense has allowed him to get into a rhythm from there, and he's been relentless.
Spurs trail by 16. Here's Tatum. Good work defensively by Horford. And it's Harris with the ball for Oklahoma City. 22 is their biggest lead. Picked by Horford. To the paint. Well, here you sit, Smitty, at the broadcast table. Is there anything you notice about the game now that you didn't notice when you were playing?
Yes, Kevin. I mean, seriously, I did not know how much Kevin Harlan ate between games and during games. It is unreal. The before, the during, and after. You are a champ, Kevin, to be able to eat that much and to do your job.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness, as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Thunder.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
I think it paid off, that's for sure.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Trae Young.
And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team. And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
It's called killer instinct. It's one thing to be close at the end. It's another to finish.
Outside Tatum. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Again, the miss by the Spurs. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks.
BOG, I still on the dap. Put my town and put it on the map. So don't give up if you all